Trophy game number 2 for the Wisconsin Badgers as they made the trip down to Lincoln to play the Nebraska Cornhuskers for the Freedom Trophy. We'll show you some of the highlights from Saturday's game. We'll check in with Badgers left tackle Jack Nelson, keeping the family name going as Wisconsin Badgers offensive lineman. And did you know there are nearly 36 Badgers currently on NFL rosters? We'll talk about that transition the players are making with someone who knows all about it, head coach Jim Leonard. Coming up on today's edition of the Badgers Sports Report. As Thompson gets them organized, he'll send Trey Palmer now in motion, lining up slot to the left. Snap to Thompson. Badgers bringing some pressure, and down goes Thompson as Keanu Benton gets to the quarterback inside the 30-yard line of Nebraska. 2nd and 10, Nebraska at its own 42. Thompson back to throw. Pocket closes, and down he goes inside the 40-yard line. Muma Jungmeta with the sack at the 37-yard line of Nebraska. Offset eye behind Mertz on 1st and 10. Hand off Allen up the middle. Now bouncing it to his left, has room. 35, Allen the 30, to the 25, to the 20-yard line, and finally steered out of bounds by Quinton Newsome, the cornerback. High backs behind Mertz. On 3rd down, Graham back to throw, rolling right, chase backside, Mertz throwing, right side, end zone, caught, touchdown, Wisconsin! Skylar Bell near the right corner of the end zone, and the Badgers are in for the first time today. Thompson gets the shotgun snap, back to throw, looking pressured, and brought down by Darrell Peterson. Inside the 35-yard line, big-time sack from the redshirt freshman out of Akron, Ohio. 2nd down and 7 from the 34 of the Huskers. 3 receivers to the right. Now Lewis, one of them, will motion to the left. Mertz in the gun, takes the snap, back to throw, 4-man Nebraska rush. Graham looks, throws right side, got Garendo and a diving catch inside the 10-yard line. Oh, what a catch on the dive by Isaac Garendo. 1st down, goal to go, Wisconsin with 1:25 to play. Baker the fullback, Malusi the tailback. Now they go inverted with Riley Nowakowski as well. Mertz takes the snap. He'll hand to Malusi, trying to bounce it outside right, inside the 5, and Malusi down to about the 2-yard line. They go big up front. Mertz will try to sneak for it. Little push from behind. No signal yet. Officials eyeballing it. Big pile at the goal line. Nothing yet. Touchdown, Wisconsin! Graham Mertz from a yard-plus change away. And the Badgers take the lead with 35 seconds remaining.
Play fake Mertz, back to throw, lines up. He's a deep right side. DK got it. Touchdown, Wisconsin.
Here comes Herbert. He knocked it loose, and the Badgers will pounce. He's gone. Braylon Allen all the way. Another turnover forced by the Wisconsin defense. Oh, what work by Jim Leonard's group.
The Badger Sports Report is presented by UW Health, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org. And is brought to you by the Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and respected contractors. BuildingWisconsinTogether.com. And by Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
When you've been injured, you need the hometown team on your side. Trust us to get you back in the game. Call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. One call, that's all.
You'll hear things like, you're gonna need to see a specialist.
That what you have is serious, like really serious.
And then you meet them, your medical team.
With research and clinical trials and new treatments.
With better procedures that lead to better results.
Then it hits you, you're gonna be okay.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end. People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a one-boy cuddly toy, my up, my down, my pride and joy. People, let me tell you about him. He's so
Right now, get $50 off a Hy-Vee Plus premium membership with code Mahomes.
These are operating engineers. They operate top-of-the-line, innovative machines and build stuff that matters. And operating engineers are well paid. They even get paid to train. As an apprentice, you can make $56,000 a year from day one. During training, no school loans and no debt. When your training is complete, you'll have a stable career job that is high skill, high tech, and high pay. We need operating engineers right now. Your future can begin today.
Injured? You need a team you can trust. Call Gruber Law Offices today, serving the people of Wisconsin for over 30 years. Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. One call, that's all.
Thompson gets the snap. Badgers bring in 3. Thompson steps up, throws left side. It is broken up, incomplete. And the Wisconsin Badgers have rallied from 11 down in the 4th quarter. They win the game. They are bowl eligible, and they keep the Freedom Trophy for another year.
I'm so proud of the fight of the guys through the week. I mean, a lot of stuff that came up. I mean, we all felt Devin, and that was one thing that we had to work together and work through. And we had a little extra purpose today, and we will have that moving forward. But I mean, I'm so proud of the resilience, the fight of every single one of those guys.
The message was, what would Devin do to strap it up one more time, to get out here one more time? And for us to be able to go out there and play the way we did, I hope we made him proud.
It felt really good to, get this win. Lost a close one to me, as everybody's probably seen. But it was really good to get this win for the team, too. There's a lot of guys that have been hurt. But this was special. This was a special win for me.
It means everything to me. It means everything to this team. With a lot of things going on this week, we just have to come out mentally, physically, and be ready to play. Because, like we said, when Coach Chris lost his job, it doesn't matter. We got to play on Saturday. And with everything that happened at the beginning of this week, I had to compartmentalize. Obviously, this was a little bit tougher, harder to do that. And I'm just glad we came out with the win because it was a hard-fought game.
It's crazy, just the amount of talent, that we have on this team, and guys who, aren't always spotlighted, just continuously making plays for us, and especially in the running back room, it's just insane talent from top to bottom. So just having guys behind you, guys in the room with you that can make plays whenever they're most called, it's awesome.
Once you have some pretty serious injuries, you start to not take the game for granted. This game, you give it all, and sometimes it doesn't give it back. So, just missing any time. I was just grateful to be out here today and give the guys everything I had.
Well, we talked about it all week. Obviously we're all banged up a little bit, but just being able to feed off each other. Continue making plays. Just for each other. For this team. And we just kept that mindset all week, and then obviously we were able to do some good stuff today.
Not relief. It's more just feels good, right? I mean, it's not really what we hang our hat on. Bowl eligible. That's assumed here at Wisconsin, obviously, but that trophy game, and then just for Coach Leonhard, that's a big win for him as well. So I mean, all 3 of those things, and just the week we've had with Devin Chandler and just everything that happened, that feels really good to pull that out and win.
I like where we're heading, as we get to the end of the season. Another big one next week. We can't think about this one for too long. We're going to enjoy it today, but we have another big one next week. Another rival game that is extremely important for us to win. So I think I've done a decent job of continuing to push and keep guys motivated. Clarity would help.
You'll hear things like, you're gonna need to see a specialist.
That what you have is serious, really serious.
And then you meet them, your medical team.
With research and clinical trials and new treatments.
With better procedures that lead to better results.
Then it hits you, you're gonna be okay.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end. People, let me tell
Right now, get $50 off a Hy-Vee Plus premium membership with code Mahomes.
The Badgers have had a lot of pride, with reason, on the number of players who have gone through this program who have moved on to the NFL. Go back the last 6 years, 47 Badger football players have either been drafted or have signed as free agents. 33 are currently on NFL rosters, and with that as a backdrop, we're joined by Badgers head coach Jim Leonard. As busy as you are as a head coach, I don't know how much you can track these guys. It was interesting to me. I was watching Brian Baldinger, who puts out on social media various clips, and he had a really cool sequence on Jack Sanborn, undrafted, making plays for the Bears, lining guys up. I would imagine that opened eyes in the NFL. I would imagine you would say, yeah, that's the Jack Sanborn that we saw here as a Wisconsin Badger, right?
It is tough with, our schedule to really dial up the NFL and watch what's going on week to week. But as a coach, you always want to check, what are the stats? How are they doing? Are they winning games? How much are they playing? And it's really, you're just proud of them. It's a lifetime goal that these guys have accomplished to play in the NFL. And there's always mixed reviews, right? Because it's a different league. It's a business. The urgency is there. But it is a dream come true, and to see these guys perform at the highest level and in most cases perform well, it's just really exciting as a coach.
You touched on some of the differences. It is a business, and I guess you could say the college game is certainly in that direction as well. But what was the moment that kind of hit you square in the eye when you signed on with the Buffalo Bills? Like, okay, I'm not in the Big Ten anymore. This has changed a little bit.
I think just the urgency of everything. In college, I'm here for 4, 5, in some cases now 6 or 7 years with the COVID years. And the NFL, it's truly week to week. You have to perform at a high level all the time. And so the urgency is there. And I think that's what burns guys out. Just feels a little bit different because there's a little bit more pressure and there's more urgency. And it's not as much about development as it is about production. And in a lot of cases, guys need to grow. And that's our message for guys that leave our program, is just make sure you're ready and you know how to coach yourself sometimes. You know how to get better. And that's why we focus on that area, because it's not as much about the development of the organization.
I've heard from a lot of guys who have played here and have gone on to the league that also another separator is from the neck up. Everybody has the physical ability, of course, right? With certain measurables. Is there a lot of truth to that? I mean, just how the football IQ can kind of keep you alive while you're trying to, just figure everything else out as to what it takes to be an NFL player?
Yeah, it's graduate level football, week in and week out, and the talent is so even that it's the little things all the time that end up winning. I think there's almost 70% of games or more are 7 to 10 points or less. That's very close games, week in and week out, high stress. So it is those little moments in a game are going to make the difference week in and week out. And I mentioned just the pressure on those players and the coaches week in and week out. If you're not mentally tough, it tears you up. And that's why I love watching our guys get up there, because they're prepared on that side. They can handle the stress of football, and they can handle big moments, and it's fun to watch them perform.
I gave the numbers coming out of the commercial break here. 33 currently on NFL rosters, nearly 50 over the last handful of years who have been drafted or have signed as free agents. How much of that in a recruiting process do you want to make sure that potential athletes here, how much of it they need to know that? Is that a high priority in the process with trying to get guys to find the right fit here at the University of Wisconsin?
Yeah, it's definitely part of the picture. We understand when you recruit great players, that's the goal. That's the ultimate goal. And just to show them the reality of it. It's not something that happens every once in a while and you got to get lucky and be that guy. We put out a lot of guys into the NFL, and it's a credit to them. They get into our program, they work, they get better year in and year out, and a lot of them have an opportunity when this thing ends to continue their career on in the NFL.
And at the same time, I say all of this, I mean, your career is well documented, 10 years in the league, what you did on the field here as an All-American 3 times. You're also an academic All-American twice. So you obviously found the balance, right? Is that's still got to be a major stress point here, I would think, too, is in the recruiting process. Hey, you do the work here all the way around, and you could be set up for a long time.
Yeah, we want athletes that want to push themselves on and off the field. That's the only guys we want to coach. So that's not what everybody wants to do. So we push the academic, and the standards are high, and we don't see that as a bad thing all the time. We push the character development, and we just really want these guys to be focused on and off the field. And it's really awesome to see how many guys we have that completely buy in to becoming well-rounded and trying to reach goals in every area of their life. And that's the most rewarding as a coach. It's not always what happens in between the white lines. It's those other victories as well, because we preach that in the recruiting process. That's what we talk with the parents about and the families about, of how we're going to develop them to have success long-term as well as in the short term.
That's what they talk about here, setting you up for the next 40 or 50 years. If you can get in the league, that's great. A number of Badgers have done that, but you're set up either way here as you move through your time at the University of Wisconsin. Head Coach Jim Leonard, stay with us. We have more to come as we continue with the Badger Sports Report.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. We believe in financial security for Wisconsin public school employees and their families. WEA Member Benefits, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. WEABenefits.com.
My favorite breakfast is Odyssey yogurt. I asked Mommy where it comes from, and she took me to a dairy farm to learn all about milk and, most importantly, cows. Wisconsin cows are definitely the happiest, which means they make the tastiest yogurt. My favorite is blueberry. What's your flavor? Support your local farmers. EIEI Odyssey.
WEA Member Benefits, dedicated to helping Wisconsin public school employees become financially secure with programs designed for the education community. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. WEABenefits.com.
Well, as Badger fans know, the offensive line has had a lot of different combinations throughout the course of the season, yet it continues to persevere through that as they go through the stretch drive of the regular season. Well, a couple of constants, Joe Tippmann at center, and this guy, pretty close to a constant, the left tackle Jack Nelson. Give us some perspective, because those of us on the outside, we always talk about, boy, you need that continuity on the offensive line. As someone who's living it, tell us about the challenge and what that's been like for you guys this season.
Yes, I mean, absolutely. Like, playing O-line, you really want to kind of get in sync with those five guys and try to, get as comfortable as you can with those guys. But I think we're in a really unique position here that our O-line group's extremely tight, just as friends, as players. I mean, all those guys in there are some of my closest friends. I mean, right now I'm playing next to Tanner Bortolini. He's one of my best friends. And, I mean, whether it's Tanner, Beach, anybody that's in there, I mean, just we're always doing everything together. And, I mean, you could throw someone else in there, anyone, and, I mean, just a couple snaps and you're pretty much good to go. So, I mean, we're just so close that trying to get to just know how they play and that kind of stuff doesn't really come into his play as much as you would think.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's interesting because when people describe Tanner Bortolini, we've talked to him, and really everybody you've mentioned there, we all know you got to be big and strong, but you got to be smart too, mm-hmm. right? With the versatility, you're making the move out the left tackle this season. Give us those. Tell us who don't play the position. I mean, that's a big part of it. From the neck up, you better really be locked in, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Coach Bo and the rest of the coaching staff does a great job. The handouts, sheets, going through it, walkthroughs. We get these little packets to quiz on. But you got to know what you're doing. But I mean, Tanner is is the smartest person I know. He's definitely the smartest person I know. He's a genius, both like on and off the field. And I mean, he's a great help. Trying to look different looks. Like, hey, this is going to come there. We talk about it all the time. I mean, he's my roommate too. So just chopping it up, kind of talking about the looks and what we can do to kind of give us the best advantage.
Give us your world, your perspective going from right guard out the left tackle this season. What was that adjustment like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an adjustment. At guard, I feel like you're kind of it's a different feeling. You got two guys right next to you, almost more protected, you feel like. But also in the inside, things kind of happen quicker. There's a lot more movement. It kind of feels crunched down a little bit. And working in those combos and get a little, hectic with the whole scheme and stuff like that. But at tackle, there's nothing out to your left usually. You might have a tight end back there, but yeah, you're in space more, and it's things are wider apart. You got to take more steps before you're hitting somebody. But I mean, bottom line is it's still a line. So some minor adjustments, but nothing too crazy.
I know I've talked to you about this before, but it's really fun for guys like me to watch the family kind of go through the process here of being a Badger, and your dad obviously playing here in the 80s. How much of a help is he just to talk with? I mean, obviously son to father is one thing, but player to player too. I would imagine he's been a big help to you, right?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, that was a little bit of a time ago when he played, but yeah, I mean, he really has made me into the football player that I am today. You know, at an early age, kind of just not as much as the technique things. I mean, I've got Coach Bo and all the other coaches for that, but you know, he's got some little stuff about technique. But I mean, it's more of just the attitude, kind of how to approach things. He's really helped me with. Because, I mean, I don't think that changes throughout the years at all. I think you still got to bring the same kind of intensity and effort, and that's one of two of the biggest things that he preaches. And I'm really thankful to have that. That really helped me out.
Yeah, you have your father, as does Barrett, but he also has you. How cool is that, having little brother? I'll put that in air quotes, little brother on the team.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's awesome. I mean, he's in the room. He's an O-lineman. He's my little brother, and just like all those other guys, we're always together. I mean, always together. I can try to help him out through my process and how I kind of have been going on my journey. I mean, he's a different person than I am, and his journey is different than mine is, but I can at least try to help him with what I've experienced. But I'm very proud of him. He's doing a great job. He's really coming along.
Part of the deal here when you play at Wisconsin, you're playing the Midwest period, you go in great stadiums, big atmospheres. Obviously, Camp Randall speaks for itself, but you play in all kinds of conditions too. You guys had a stretch of maybe perfect, those Chamber of Commerce days. And then you had the high winds here recently, and yet you ran the ball. I mean, that's our guy Mark Tauscher always tells us, lineman's dream, man. You get the wind, you get the rain, but you can just rear back and let it rip. How fun was that, a game like that?
It's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, you really like to be able to have the offense, be able to rely on you guys like that, and the O-line. And, I mean, I love running the ball. It's awesome, especially when it's, you know, almost snowing, winds blowing, it's freezing, wet. I mean, I think that's just gritty football, and I think that's really when I, you know, starts to enjoy it and really feel that brotherhood and kind of the grind.
Yeah, and that goes with the month of November. Rivalry games. It's such, and Coach Leonard said, that's such a big part of the appeal of college football for a fan. For you guys, I mean, these remaining games are all those regular season trophy games. How much emphasis do you guys put on that aspect of it?
I mean, a ton. I mean, it is just another game that you got to win, but I respect the teams that we got coming up here, those trophy games. I respect those teams a lot. But with that said, I mean, I hate them. I mean, they're just tough players. They're physical. They do their job well. I mean, there's no kind of crazy scheme or anything like that. I mean, it's just there's some extra fuel in there for sure, in the practice and the games and just leading up to it.
Sounds like a ton of respect, too. Probably both ways, right?
Yeah.
That's how it works. And that's Jack Nelson. All the best around, left tackle for the Wisconsin Badgers. We'll take a break. More to come as we continue with the Badger Sports Report.
These are operating engineers. They operate top-of-the-line innovative machines and build stuff that matters. And operating engineers are well paid. They even get paid to train. As an apprentice, you can make $56,000 a year from day one. During training, no school loans and no debt. When your training is complete, you'll have a stable career job that is high skill, high tech, and high pay. We need operating engineers right now. Your future can begin today.
You'll hear things like, you're gonna need to see a specialist.
That what you have is serious, like really serious.
And then you meet them, your medical team.
With research and clinical trials and new treatments.
With better procedures that lead to better results.
Then it hits you, you're gonna be okay.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
The Badger Sports Report is presented by UW Health, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org. And is brought to you by the Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and respected contractors. BuildingWisconsinTogether.com. And by Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
One more trophy game remaining for the Wisconsin Badgers, and it is the biggest one of all, really. Paul Bunyan's acts as the longest ongoing rivalry in major college football. has its 2022 edition, the Badgers and the Minnesota Golden Gophers, right here at Camp Randall Stadium in the regular season finale. Join us next week. Thanks for watching.
This has been an exclusive presentation from Learfield.
People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end. People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a one-boy cuddly toy, my up, my down, my pride and joy. People, let me tell you about him. He's so much fun. Whether we're talking and a man or whether we're talking.
Right now, get $50 off a Hy-Vee Plus premium membership with code Mahomes.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, WEAbenefits.com.
My favorite breakfast is Odyssey yogurt. I asked Mommy where it comes from, and she took me to a dairy farm to learn all about milk and, most importantly, cows. Wisconsin cows are definitely the happiest, which means they make the tastiest yogurt. My favorite is blueberry. What's your flavor? Support your local farmers. EIEI Odyssey.